How's it going, guys? My name is Tavarish, and today we're going to be finishing my cheap Lamborghini's stripped interior by putting everything back so I can do things like sit in the car and drive it. You know, the small stuff. So if you guys are new to the channel, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoy it. This thing is coming together in its final form, well, after a few minor setbacks, if you consider a massive fuel leak minor. So today we're going to be installing everything back into my interior. We're going to make sure that it works, and we're also going to make sure that it's clean, because I want this thing to look and feel like a car again. Now, putting an interior back into a car, it's not exactly the hardest thing in the world, but it is time consuming. And when you're in a garage working on your car for a long time by yourself, tends to get a little bit boring. So what do? You put on a podcast, you put on some music, and you realize that your cell phone speaker is probably not all that good. Which is why I'm super excited today to introduce today's sponsor, Cove Speakers, who have this awesome commuter wireless Bluetooth speaker that has, no joke, transformed the way I work on cars. It's such a different experience when this thing's around. It's really good. This is a Cove commuter portable wireless Bluetooth speaker. You can take this thing anywhere you want, so it connects to smartphones, tablets, and even your PC, anything with a Bluetooth connection. This is the X-Bass subwoofer. It gives better sound quality, and it also looks really cool. You can put it to the side like this. You can stand it up like that, and the sound quality is the same. It sounds freaking awesome. So you have this integrated volume knob that's part of the design, super clean, and you have a swipe function for previous and next in case you want to have a playlist and you have control of it right here. In addition, it doubles as a speakerphone on calls. You can use a micro USB right here to recharge it. It recharges pretty quickly, and it has a battery that lasts for up to 8 hours. This speaker will work up to 30 feet away from whatever music source you have, which means that you can walk around and do whatever you need to do, and your quality will be just as good, and this thing won't skip a beat. Also, they call it a commuter because you can commute with it. It's the size of a soft drink, and it fits in a cup holder, which is really awesome, especially when you're working inside a car and you can't hear music outside. Now you just put this thing in the cup holder and you pump up the jams. Do people still say that? Did they ever say that? Sounds pretty good. So be sure to go to covespeakers.com/Tavarish and you will get 65% off of this thing. That is amazing. It's covespeakers.com/Tavarish. All right, let's jump right into it. We're gonna be putting back this car's interior, and it's not exactly gonna be a bolt-on affair. Nothing on this car really is. So the first step we have to do is actually expose the interior. I don't wanna be working with this above my head. There's not really too much room. So what we're gonna do is just bring it back. Now I don't have the holder, so it's just gonna rest on top of the engine, but it's okay because I'm not gonna turn on the car. So we just gently put that guy down, and now we have so much more room for activities. Now this might look familiar to you if you've watched my previous videos on the fuel leak. We're done with the fuel leak. It's not a concern anymore. I have the correct gaskets and sealant and all that stuff. It doesn't leak, it will not leak, but we have to cover this part up because this, in essence, well, this whole thing is a firewall. So if there is a fire, I want to be protected. Well, the people in the car need to be protected against that fire, and we can't have a big gaping hole here. Now, when I got the car, it was modified, sort of, by its previous owner, and this is what they had in place. This is just a really thin piece of metal, looks like aluminum, and they just put some self-tapping screws in random places. I don't know why they did that. Maybe because it was too hard to get to the stock bolt locations, which are here, here, and here. I think there's one underneath here, but I don't understand why they would do this. It's just, they just butchered the car. I'm definitely not putting this back. So what we have to do today is we have to make our own panel because I don't have the stock panel, but we also have to make a pass-through. We have to make a pass-through for these wires because the wires have to get to the fuel pump. I also don't want that pass-through into a place where fire can get through, so that's gonna have a rubber grommet and some wiring. So what I have is this piece of scrap aluminum. Actually, it's a lot nicer and it's a lot thicker than what was there originally. Well, not originally when I got the car. Originally, they would have had a better solution for this. But this is what I'm gonna use, and what I have to do is just cut a square piece right here. I have to drill out the holes. I just have to bolt it down with some M6 bolts, and then I'm gonna have to drill a hole right here because I need a pass-through for the electric connections for the fuel pump. And then I'm gonna have to cut this, make it into a custom wiring harness so I can pass it through. And then we're gonna have a good, long-lasting solution that shouldn't give us any problems, even if the car does burst into flames, which it definitely won't because there's no more fuel leak. So in order to make our custom firewall piece, all we have to do is measure it. I just measured a rough estimate of where the borders lie. It's 9 inches by 7.5 inches. And we just get an angle grinder here, and we go to town. Hopefully my cutting is gonna be straight enough. This is not gonna be a piece that's seen, but I do want it to last, and I don't want there to be any really major issues with this. So we're just gonna cut this, and then we have to offer it up to the car, then measure out some more stuff, do some more cutting, do some more offering up, and then we can do the final installation, and then we can put together the entire interior. Okay, so this is a little crude, but here is the plate. I have taken off some of the edge right here, and I have put a grommet right here, and I cut one of the edges off right here because it's interfering with some stuff on the car. So this is just gonna slide in sort of like that, and that is where we're gonna put the wiring harness for the fuel pump and fuel sender. So let's get to that. Here comes my favorite part, wiring. Oh yeah. This is the wiring harness for the fuel pump and the fuel level sender. But right here, it looks like one of the wires is, well, the insulation's gone, and it looks like this would create a short. I think this is a ground, so it's not too big of an issue, but this can definitely lead to some wonky performance. So we're gonna get rid of this. Actually, we're gonna clean all this up. We're just gonna cut all these wires, and I'm gonna splice in a removable harness here. So I got this, it's just a 6-pin harness, and we actually only need 5, so we're not gonna be using one of these wires. So we're just gonna splice this into this, and then put that through this grommet right here, and then we'll bolt it all down, put some RTV on the other side to make sure it's a weather-tight seal, and then we will be done. Okay, now I have my removable harness. We have a sub harness here for the fuel filler and the fuel pump, and everything works. I just tested it, and it's a pretty elegant solution if I say so myself. Now, all we have to do now is, since I cleaned up the outside, I'm gonna put a bead of RTV, some high temp silicone, right here, just to make sure that we have that extra layer of weather sealing. So it's not gonna see any gas, or well, hopefully not see any gas. It's not gonna see anything like that. That would make it fail. So it just needs to be, well, tacky. So I'm going to put a little bit of a dab all around this, kind of like a gasket, a form-in-place gasket. And then I'm gonna put this on, we're gonna bolt it on, and then we can finally put the interior back together. Yay! All right, guys, take a look at that. This looks a lot more OEM. This matches this, and it's completely bolt-on, and we have a nice little sub-harness connector here, and this is gonna be just fine. The other side is okay. It's not bad. It does use the stock little panel here, so I'm not too worried about that. I can put that on, no problem. But right now, we're just gonna be doing a big time lapse, and I'm gonna be putting everything back in the interior, and then we're gonna get to cleaning it and making sure it looks really good. All right, guys, take a look at this. It's finally looking like a car again, sort of. So the carpets are out, but my lovely wife has cleaned the floors for me right here. Obviously, I haven't done this side yet, but the carpets are getting cleaned right now, and they have been shampooed. And I gave a little bit of a leather conditioning to the back of this because all of this is all leather, and it looks really good. I got this centerpiece in. So let me clue you guys into what I'm doing down here. This jumble of wires is the custom harness I made for the front lift system. The front lift system is, well, it's stock on the car, but since I have the Cyvex engine management unit, I needed to do some custom wiring. So this goes into a connector and it goes into a relay, and all it needs is a power and a ground. The ground is easy enough because all I have to do is just ground it onto the body, but the power is, well, it's a little bit hard to come by, especially on this car. Now, when I had it on before, it was back here and it was just for testing purposes, as you can see by these wire nuts. So now that I have everything here kind of blocked off, I have to find another power source up here. But I think I found one. So if you take a look up here, there's a fuse box, and some of these fuses, where the fuses are missing, they have a metal connector in them, and that one is actually a switch 12 volt, which is exactly what we need. And to connect to that, I'm just gonna use this. It's an add a fuse, and this red wire is just gonna be the switch 12 volt. So since I don't have a fuse there, I'm just gonna put this 10 amp fuse. I don't think it's gonna need that much current, but it's a really elegant solution, really simple. This was, I don't know, $1, and this is gonna allow us to use the front lift system as intended. So I have to just put that into this harness, and obviously I'm not gonna leave these wire nuts here. I just have to do some splicing and some connecting, and then this should be good to go. I'll just tuck everything up in there, and then we can put all the carpets back, and then the seats go in. Ooh, I can't wait. Okay, everything is nice and tucked away. Now, let's just see if the wiring still works. I'm just gonna turn on the car, and hopefully it still turns on. Awesome. And let's see if the front lift works. Awesome. There we go. Nice. Guys, take a look at this. This looks so good. Now, this whole process took multiple days. It took 3 days to get my car looking like this. Everything is connected, everything is wired. We have the fuel leak taken care of, we have the firewall taken care of, we made some custom brackets, we made sure that everything fits just like OEM. Everything looks real good. These lights are, yeah, there we go. The lights work, and that's That's the important bit. Robert Dunn from Aging Wheels actually helped me clean the seats, and then my wife also helped me clean the seats after him. We used a different solution, and we got them a little bit cleaner than he did. And we also cleaned the entire, well, all the carpets and all the trim. And I'm just gonna sit down. Hopefully I don't get this too dirty, but check this out. Oh my God. It just looks so good. So I almost want to peel the protective layer from the screen, but I'm not going to, not yet. The car isn't done quite yet, but the interior is 100% finished. And I really, really like how it turned out. Oh yeah. We just have to get rid of some of those warning lights, but that's not going to be a big deal. And I can't wait to get this thing out on the road. All right, let's shut that up. It's actually been months since I've been able to close the car with all the weather stripping in place. Oh man, that feels real good. Guys, let me know what you think about this interior. Do you like it? Should I do some changes? Should I put some carbon fiber accents? I don't know, I'm really enjoying how this is looking. But I'm gonna stop rambling. It's late, pitch black outside. I've been working at this all day and the last 3 days, which is why you didn't get a video yesterday. But we're still gonna keep on trucking because tomorrow I am going to be doing all the stuff back here. We're gonna be doing the welding and the oil leak and all that stuff. And I'm gonna be working this entire weekend just on this car to finish it as quickly as possible. All right guys, those are a long couple of days, but the car looks fantastic. And we're one step closer to getting this thing buttoned up and on the road so we can get on to other projects that I'm super excited about. But I would like to thank our sponsor, Cove Speakers. Go check them out in the link below. If you'd like to listen to me talk about cars and car culture with my friend Andrew Howell, you can do so. Links below to my Car Guys Talk podcast. But until next time, this is me telling you that on cars like this, you can't even see it, it's so low. On cars like that we just transformed the interior of, you guys need to wrench every day.